So okay, welcome to another Surviving Mars tutorial playthrough. I'm Bridges872. So let's get started. So now we're going to be looking at maintenance. This is the third tutorial in the series of tutorials that you do before you start playing Surviving Mars. I've only just got into playing Surviving Mars, so I'm really at an early stage. So you know, if you're going to follow this or you're watching on YouTube, then yeah, you're going to learn along with me as we play this game. So now we're in the aftermath. So we've had a dust storm. Now we've got to do some maintenance, and we've also got to build our first dome. And so the first thing it's asking us to do here is that we have to salvage some buildings. So obviously, as you're building your colony, you're going to be you know, building stuff. You're going to also be moving stuff around. You're also going to be getting rid of some things, and so we need to salvage the buildings we're not using anymore. So the concrete extractor, we're going to go salvage that. So how do we do it? We select the concrete extractor, then select and press the salvage button in the info panel with triangle. Then use R2 to focus the info panel, and then we can go get the building materials later. So we're just going to do that now. So we just select salvage in the info panel, where we R2 for the intro panel, and then we select salvage with triangle. It'll tell you in the bottom right there that the building will be demolished in a certain amount of time. That's in case you press it by accident. So now we're going to look at powering the drone hub. So the drone hubs are buildings that will control and manage your drones. You're going to need a drone hub. You're probably going to need a few of them as you build your colony. When you first start, the spaceship acts as your drone hub, and when I was in the game that I've just started playing, I didn't realize this and sent all my spaceships home, and then ended up having nothing controlling the drones. So don't do that. So let's go and power the drone hub. So first of all, we need to construct a solar panel. So we bring up the build menu with triangle. We're going to go across to power with R1, and then we're going to select the large solar panel. Let's just zoom in a bit. We're going to put it here. That's where it wants us to put it. Let it build that. You see above the drone hub.
Power, but it's not enough. We should prioritize the drone hub.
Okay, so yeah, so above the buildings, if you're playing Surviving Mars for the first time, you'll see that there's little icons that are telling you what's going on. So obviously that means there's not enough power to that building. This one means that it's not enough water. So we're going to go back to the drone hub. We're going to change the priority on it. So we can change the priority on all of our buildings and constructions. So this affects how the building is serviced by drones, also how much power it gets and how much life support it gets as well. So we're just going to change that to high priority. So we just change it with X and it goes up to high.
We can use the machine parts left from the concrete extractor to build a wind turbine.
So yeah, so now we salvage some parts. So a good thing about salvaging is you get the parts back, or some parts back. So if you are running low on resources, then you can salvage some buildings to get some things back, buildings you're not really using at the moment. You can use the machine parts left from the concrete extractor to build a wind type turbine. So we're just going to go do that. So let's, from the build menu, we're going to select wind turbine. Put it there. some other stuff here. I mean, we could salvage all these while we're waiting for the
Even with the wind
to build.
turbine, there won't be enough electricity to power the base, especially during the night.
So even with the wind turbine, we're not going to have enough power. So one thing you can do is that you can change the shift. So obviously people work in shifts. It's just like real life. First shift, second shift, and night shifts. When I used to be in the Air Force, I used to work night shift. I used to work a night shift a lot when I was young as well. Worst time in your to work. There's really some really good things about the night shift. You know, it's quiet, not lots going on. There's that period in the morning where it's just nice and peaceful and calm, and your body kind of feels different. You know, you really kind of feel working through night differently than you do kind of working through the day. But it's not a thing I would suggest for a long-term career. Although I used to work in a factory making coke and things like that, and there were people in there that just did the night shift. You know, that's all they did. They liked doing the night shift because it was quiet and not much stress. And yeah, you know, you get up, you do a night shift, you get paid more money, you go sleep during the day. Different way of living, I suppose. There's some of us that want to do that. Anyway, let's go and do this. So we're going to change the shift. So we're going to select the moisture vaporizer and fuel refinery and disable their night shift so they won't consume power during the night. So we're just going to do that. So let's select it. R2 to focus the info panel, go across, and the night shift is, we're going to toggle that off. There we go. We're going to do the same here to the fuel refinery. We're going to toggle, just focus it, and then we're going to toggle that.
You managed to get things operational, but this won't last, as buildings require maintenance, and we are out of resources.
You're listening to Mars Official Radio with Panna Masculine, your first radio host choice with the best radio voice.
She does have the best radio voice. Right, so maintenance. So we've got things up and running again after the dust storm, but it won't last as building required maintenance, and we are out of resources. So generally what happens is that the drones will maintain your buildings as long as they have some form of resources, but here they've simulated a breakdown of a solar panel, so the drones will automatically repair this breakdown provided there are metals in range of their controller. So we need to go examine the panel, so select the large panel and go down and examine the things. So the condition of the building deteriorates over time.
We need more metals to secure
then
this
our
base.
drones will go do it.
Use the RC transport to collect
We'll
some
go
metals
and fix them as long as we have the resources. So the RC transport gathers metals. So when you do launch into your game, one of the first things to make sure you do have with you on your first rocket is an RC transport. I found that really useful, just to have the transport there to go get the metals, move stuff around. You don't realize that you also sometimes you have a building that's not working, or they're not building something and you don't work it out that they need the resources right by the building. So having an RC transport is really key, because it's good for getting metals obviously, but also just moving stuff around the base, doing your logistics. Right, select RC transport and hold R2 and then press X on any surface metal deposit to order the vehicle to mine it. And gather at least 20 metals with the RC transport and deliver them to the metal depot in the base. This will take a while, so you may want to speed up time. Well, we sped up time already, so let's just slow it down. Right, so R1, not F1, sorry, R1, we'll go get our RC transport. Just get rid of that. So our RC transport is, where is our RC transport? We're going to put it over here. Hopefully, there it goes. Here comes the RC transport, driving along. over to our metals deposit. I'll do that. It's not the RC transport, is it? That's the RC rover. Okay, don't do stuff like that because that's just silly. Let's move that back. I hope you're not really wanting a great tutorial playthrough here. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, I apologise for this, but you know, I don't really make kind of polished videos. I kind of make real life videos, and we just do it together and see what happens. I think it's the best way to learn. So anyway, so I made a mistake there. I didn't pick up the RC transport. I picked up the RC rover. So let's pick up the RC transport. And we're just going to go across to the metals here. As you can see, it says R2X gather resources, so we're going to do that. And hopefully, there we go, there comes the RC transport. It's going to come and gather some metals, and it's going to go back to the... We're going to take it back there when it's got, I think what it said, 20 on board, so it's got a capacity of 30. You see that in the bottom right of the info panel, the capacity of your transport. It's got 9 at the moment. As soon as we have enough on there, 20, we're going to bring it back here and we're going to unload it at the depot. Alright, I think we've got enough, so we're going to bring it back, R2 and triangle, bring the RC transport back, unload our resources.
Good job. However, we need more than just metals. Fortunately, we can call a resupply rocket from Earth.
So here we go. So we can get resupply from Earth. That's what you're going to be doing in the game anyway. Once you start playing, you're going to send your first rocket. You're also going to send a resupply rocket. One good tip here is when you start your game is to as soon as you start playing, to pause it and order your resupply rocket straight away. There's no point waiting around for it. Just get it launched as soon as you can. Obviously you're going to be playing the game, time is going to be happening, and it takes a bit of time for the resupply rocket to get from Earth to Mars, obviously. So it's best just to order it straight away and not wait around for it. So open the resupply screen from the command menu by pressing L2, and then we'll order a cargo rocket. So we'll go to the resupply menu. Here's our cargo rocket. So we're going to order some polymers. So 20 polymers, 20 machine parts, excuse me, and 20 electronics, and then we're going to launch that. So that's now on its way to us.
Let's do some cleaning up around the base while we wait for the rocket to arrive.
Okay, so the remains of the destroyed salvage buildings will be, or obstruct other buildings, obviously. So we're going to clear the ruins. We're going to have to research decommission protocol technology in the engineering field, but you know, they're nice. It's a tutorial, so they're going to give that tech to us already. But let's go and clear the ruins. So select the ruins of the Cultivate Extractor and use the clear action to send a drone to remove the ruins. So R2 to focus, directional buttons, activate.
Now, let's remove some of the unnecessary cables.
Okay, so we're going to remove some of the cables now. Let's just get rid of this hint. So the other way we can do it is that we can go to the build menu and see which one it is. So we go to the build menu, from infrastructure we can go to salvage. We just select salvage. You'll see like the icon changes. to having those kind of 3 bars on it, and you'll see they change as you go over the thing that you want to salvage. So now we can salvage with this instead. So we just click using X, and that will salvage those parts. So now we're going to wait for the arrival of the rocket, and we're going to land it somewhere near the base. Obviously you can speed up time. What you find is that when you're actually playing the game, you're speeding up time, slowing it down, speeding up time, slowing it down all the time. So it's a good idea also just to keep an eye on your speed up and your timing, because you don't want to have time sped up really quickly and suffer a disaster or something like that.
Welcome back.
So anyway, let's land our rocket.
A nickname I got in my youth.
So we select the rocket with R1 at the bottom, and then we're going to land it somewhere.
Serious restrictions on freedom of speech. When democracy finally came,
There we
other
go.
forces took control over the broadcasting channels. I fled to America, where some compatriots and I started up an underground news network, determined to supply
Supplies
our
from
homeland
Earth have
with neutrally
arrived,
reported
and
news.
we can use them
It was
to
very
expand the
successful
base.
and grew into today's public service network, the least corrupt network on Earth.
So here we go, power
And now for some
accumulators.
music.
The supplies from Earth have arrived, and we can use them to expand the base. Let's start with the power accumulator. It allows you to store power for nighttime or emergencies. They all have a capped maximum output, so a single one may not be enough to power all buildings at night. So construct a power accumulator and connect it to the power grid. And you may want to construct some additional solar panels and wind turbines in advance to sustain the base expansion. Yeah, I kind of playing the game as well. Let's just get rid of those. What are we doing? Right. Before we do that, let's just salvage these. Get rid of this. Yeah, kind of playing the game as well. What I found is already in the beginning is that power is important. And I kind of like to play these games like I would be playing. I kind of like to role play them in my head a little bit. So what I do is that I kind of just imagine myself being like this. Literally, I am in control of the Mars colony, and I am the man. So, one of the things you would do if you were doing this for real life is the things that are important when you get there are going to be life support functions. So you're going to want to make sure that you have an overcapacity a little bit in life support at all times. Let's try and be as realistic as we can with these games. For me, that's just the way I play them, just because it makes it more interesting in your head more than anything. I know lots of people have different ways of playing these kind of games. For some people, it's about getting maximum output. It's about having everything in a straight line. It's about having grids and things like that. But for me, playing these kind of games is really just about having fun. Imagining myself as a Mars commander. Let's face it, I'm not going to be a Mars commander in my lifetime, so I might as well just have a little bit of imagination about it. Yeah, and I kind of just think through, like, if I was in that position, what would I be doing? I've got to set up a Mars base, so we've got to focus on things like power generation. We've got to focus on life support. We've got to focus on those initial things that are important for you when you are on another planet. I would hope that I do in my lifetime get to see a human being land on Mars. That will be something that would be good. But hey ho, let's see. Right, anyway, let's continue with the tutorial. Enough of me just rambling on. Use the build menu to place a power accumulator and connect it to the existing power grid. Okay, let's do that. So let's get out of the salvage tool. We're going to use the build menu. We're going to go over to power accumulator, which does look like a big ass battery. Alright, it's not suggesting that we put it anywhere, so I'm just going to put it here by the solar panel. So let's connect. So I'm also going to build another solar panel, which I'm just going to put there. I'm also going to build one more wind turbine, which I'm going to put
Water
there.
is essential for a sustainable Martian colony. Fortunately, there is a water deposit nearby.
Extracting water. Water is essential for a sustainable Martian colony. Yep, I would assume it is. So there's a water deposit nearby, so we're just going to go build extracting water.
Use the build menu to construct a water extractor near the water deposit. Then power it up.
I shall. Right, let's use the build menu. I'm going to go over to water extractor. We're just going to put it there, I think. The other thing I said I was going to do was I was going to build a another wind turbine. I'll just put it there. There we go. Cool. So I'm going to wait for that to build. And then we need to send it some power. So we're just going to get the power cable again in the build menu, pick up the power, take it over to the
water extractor is ready, but we don't have a storage for the water it will extract.
So let's do that. Let's build a water storage tower. So I'm just going to go and go over to a life support, pick up a tower. Yeah, I'm just going to plonk it there for the time being. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, after the stream on Twitch, then pop in the comments. How do you play these kind of games? Do you play it in a way that is, you know, you're kind of one of these people that wants to maximize efficiencies? You're one of these people that really just wants to, you know, just play it for fun, or do you do like I do? I kind of just, like I said earlier, in my head, I pretend I'm a commander. I am actually doing this, and I kind of just play it like a little bit like it's reality, rather than trying to maximize everything. Human beings aren't fully efficient. Yeah, that's how I play it. Let me know how you play it in the comments below. Right, pipes. So I need to connect a pipe. So just put a pipe there. So what I love about surviving Mars is this, it's just cute.
Time has finally come to build the first dome that will house our colonists.
So we need to do a dome. Oh, I can't put the dome there, can I? Because I put the bloody rocket there. Crap. Can we launch the rocket? Has it got enough fuel? Well, I'll have to put it elsewhere. Right, so let's build a dome. Obviously just a basic dome. I'm just going to put it there. And wait for that to build. Yeah, no, so like I was saying, what I like about Surviving Mars is that, one, the graphics are pretty cool, aren't they? I mean, we can imagine that we were on Mars. Yeah, you can zoom right in here. Just have a play around with your God camera. I mean, this is why these games are fun, aren't they? Let's face it, we just like playing God. Yeah, you can zoom in and out. Things, follow your little droids around. You know, everything's doing its thing. Yeah, they're just pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. So the droids are building the dome here. So I put it over here. The dome, they're obviously going to need power and water. And oxygen as well. So the next thing we do in this tutorial is that we, I think we build a Moxie. Anyway, we'll just let that play out. So yeah, if you can zoom out, all the way to the kind of like the overview map, see where your sectors are.
This is Mars official radio with Panem Public Service Escalon. We have a soundtrack just right for the blue sunset light.
That's great. So anyway, no, we just you can just go out to the overview menu. You can look at your different sectors. You can scan each sector in the game, so we're going to be you know, adding things to the scan queue. You want to scan sectors to show up, you know, basically the resources that are there. And in the game you're sending out your RC transport to gather resources, you're sending out your explorer to go and analyze stuff that gets you research points, gets you new tech. So yeah, you're going to be zooming in and out quite a lot in the game. So let's just zoom back in, see how they're doing building this dome. Obviously the dome takes a little bit while to build. It's a big structure. As you can see, it's building it up there. There, doesn't that look cool,
The dome
eh?
is complete, but we have to supply it with water, power, and oxygen before we can use it.
So water, power, and oxygen before we can use it. The dome requires life support. We're going to be putting humans in there, people. Humans require air, water, and power. We don't really require power, but we do require air and water. So we're going to provide water, power, and oxygen to the dome. We're going to be doing that with a Moxie. So Moxie extracts oxygen from the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and we need to connect with the dome with pipes. And it may be wise to build an oxygen storage as well. Okay, well, let's do that. I would think that's a good idea. So I'm just going to slow down time while this is happening. Go back to the build menu with triangle, pick up the Moxie. Obviously you want it fairly close to the dome. So gonna put it here just for fun. And connect the newly constructed dome to the existing water and power supply grids. Okay, but we also need to build a oxygen storage. Oxygen tank, there we go. Oh, not yet available. Okay, so I can't do that. But we are going to connect it to the existing water and power. So let's just get our pipes. I want to take it from here. As you can see, around the every building there's the icons, and this is where the pipes or your connections go into. That's important sometimes to realise when you're playing the full game, is because you want to turn the objects around, the buildings around, so that you've got connections on either side. It's painful to bring connections around something. Also, you're just wasting resources. You know, you've got to think about that. I have put this a little bit further away. You know, again, like I said, I play these games as if you know, I was thinking about doing it for real, and in real life, you know, things are not put in the place where it's, you know, all nice and structured and square. You know, things get put where they get put sometimes. So sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to the way that we build stuff as humans. But generally, you know, you're building. If you were building a colony on Mars, you'd be making decisions at the time based on the information you have, rather than trying to make decisions about you know, what you're going to be doing in the future. Just generally how life works anyway. So you're going to be doing that. So you make the decisions in the moment, and then, you know, then that's going to have consequences later on. So that's how I like to play these games. Is to not really think too far ahead and just make decisions in the moment, and see what happens, really. It is a little bit of a sandbox that way. I'm not one of these people that sit here and plan out you know, exactly how my colony is going to look, and things like that. So off in the top left hand corner there, you've got a little notification area. That's useful in the full game as well, because you pick up notifications. Things like what's going on, life support. So is a problem with the dome, but we know that because we know we haven't connected anything yet. We're still waiting for the Moxie to build. But yeah, you'll get things like anomaly found. It will tell you if there's any dust storms coming in, any building issues, any drone issues. So you're going to be using that menu quite a lot in the game as well. So yeah, let's just speed up time and wait for the Moxie to build. also, while that's happening, I'm just going to put the power cables in, run it from the nearest connection here. There we go.
Resources are low.
So yeah, there you go. I've got a notification resources are low, but we're just playing the tutorial here, so there's no really worry about that right now. So we'll just dismiss that, and we can just dismiss the no life support. I know the building has no life support. So we're also going to just do the power as well for the dome while we're waiting for things to build. So I'm just going to grab the power cable from there, and I'm going to run it to the dome this way. There we go. So you saw that everything shut down for a little bit. Like I said earlier, that the power accumulator here is probably not enough to run it for the night, and probably need a bit more power to take us through the night. So let's put another power accumulator kind of there next to that one. And so that should provide some power for the night, or a little bit more power for the night, so hopefully we can keep building through the night. Why are these guys not doing anything, and why is no building going on? There's 4 metals. Hold on a second, that needs some love and attention. I'm going to set these priorities up to high because I want it to build it quicker on the tutorial here. So I'm just going to do that.
Resources are low.
Yep, I know resources are low. Do I have a cargo rocket coming? Did I not launch that? Let's send a... Oh, I haven't got anything here. Okay. Oh, day food. Let's send some of them. Cool, let's launch that anyway. Right, so we're still just waiting for everything to build here. I'll put that up to... We need some metals. Oh, there we go. Right, let's just get the RC transport. This is one of the things in the game that's a little bit annoying, is that, you know, if you've got a transport close to something, sometimes the cursor's not exactly on for picking up the object you want. That can be a bit frustrating, but apart from that, it's fine. So yeah, so nothing was building there because I didn't have enough metal. So like I said, I don't do polished tutorials. I really just play it, and we kind of go through it together, which means you're going to make mistakes. So yeah, I had to go and get some more metals. So we'll wait for that to load. Once it's got 30, we'll take it back to the thing. What you can do, and in the next tutorial we'll look at that. We start looking at making transport routes with the RC transport. So you can set up the RC transport to go out, do whatever it needs to do, come back, drop off the resources, so you don't have to keep doing this. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we're just going to do it the way the tutorial wants us to do. So I've got 30 resources in there. Now I'm going to bring it back to the depot here. R2 and triangle to just order it to come back and unload all its resources, and then that should hopefully kick off the there we go. So you see that as soon as I brought back the metal, the drones went and started building everything. There we go. So we've got everything up and running. So we're going to need to connect that to the dome. So we're going to need some pipe work again. So we're going to go to oxygen or life support. Here's the pipe. We're going to take it from there to there. And that hopefully should connect to the dome. There we go.
Well done.
The dome is up.
I've completed the simulation successfully.
So that's it. Mission complete. We've done that tutorial successfully. I hope that was useful for you. If it was and you're watching this on YouTube, please just you know, put something in the comments below, like the video, let me know how you're getting on playing the game. Apart from that, thanks for watching. Until the next video, bye bye.